Hello, I'm looking forward, and I hope you are, to the next, half an hour or so. It could be a comedy show, really. It's billed as a football show, but, football and comedy do mix. Now, we're at I'm not saying the people on this show are old, but we do happen to be at the oldest football ground in the world, which might be appropriate in the circumstances. Thanks ever so much to Hallam FC for hosting us. And by us, I mean Imre Varadi and Mel Sterland. I'm not sure I should say anymore. The introduction doesn't need all the many clubs, Imre, that you played for.
I had a few over the years, roughly about 16, Alan. So,
I've got a list here.
But in saying that, I enjoyed every minute of my career. I had 18 years of it, so it was thoroughly enjoyable.
Well, if I listed or mentioned now all the clubs that you've played for, we'll say cheerio, won't touch anything else.
Run out of time.
Mel, you only played for 3. What's wrong with you?
3 good ones, though.
Oh, yes.
3 very good ones.
3 very good ones. Now, you two, it's great to get you together because you're inseparable. You're thick as thieves, the pair of you.
I don't know about that word. With
me.
Yeah, the choice of words wasn't quite right. Well, we can laugh about it. But you do, you're great pals. You're like an old married couple, aren't you? Really? You go to events together, matches together. Tell me how this romance started.
Well, it started actually a long, long time ago at Sheffield Wednesday, and I was in town centre having something to eat with my wife, and Imre walks in with his ex-wife.
Thanks for that.
And we just were friends from then, and ever since we've been good mates. Imre keeps coming around to my house for my wife to do his feet. He loves his feet doing it. Honest to God, when he goes on holiday, he says, Charmaine, can you do my feet? Can you do my feet? And he's like a little girl, he is, to be honest. But we just get on so much, and we go to events, we have the crack together, we have a great laugh, and he's a great guy. I can remember playing against him for Sheffield Wednesday against Man City. And guess what he did, Alan? He fetched me down in the penalty area.
Right.
And he were a penalty. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he went, "You cheating?" Yeah. And I went,
"Yeah."
And then 5 minutes after that, absolutely. And then 5 minutes after, he went down in Sheffield Wednesday's penalty box, got a penalty, and looked across at me and went, 1-1. And I thought, yes.
But the story to that as well, I actually played in midfield for City. And I played in midfield. We were short on numbers. Yeah. And when I brought Mel down, he went down with a massive thud. It just echoed around Hillsborough. That's what he missed. But he obviously took the penalty and scored, and I managed to get one back, and we ended up drawing 1-1. But that was funny afterwards when we went out.
Most of the good times you've spent have not been in opposition, been playing together. Does this friendship predate you playing together? Because you did at Sheffield Wednesday, and you also did at Leeds United.
I don't know, most people know, I started off at Bramall Lane.
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
Harry Haslam was the manager. He brought me up and he asked me to play in the reserve team game. I managed to score a hat-trick. In those days, the reserves were on a Saturday. So when the team played at home, you played away. I think it was at Burnley. Managed to score the hat-trick. And then there was another reserve game on the Tuesday, and I managed to score again. And they gave me a 2.5-year professional contract, which was brilliant. And that was where the start was. But when I played for Sheffield United, I was 18 then. It was when we met. That was then. Back then, that's how long ago it was.
As everybody knows, and there's been rumour for you, Mel, of course, is a closet boyhood blade. Come on, tell the truth about it.
Can't believe
Alan, wherever that has come from, it's nonsense.
Right. Where has it come from?
Listen, I am not a Sheffield United fan. Even though I played in a game for Sheffield United for Sean Bean, I was the captain of Sheffield United, but I did have a Sheffield Wednesday shirt underneath.
Yeah.
And that's 100%.
True that.
But I am not. My twin brother was a Sheffield United fan. Not me. I can remember going into his house and, I looked up and there's no pictures of me. And there's all these Sheffield United pictures, Tony Curry, Keith Edwards. And I'm thinking, where's Mel Sterland, your brother? Yeah. And you want one picture on there. But no, I'm blue and white.
Okay, I believe you.
Thank you. Good.
I am as well. You know that, Big Z. You know that.
Yeah. Well, the blade, not a blade. I mean, but allegiances and loyalties. Now, just before we talk about Imre's allegiances, because you've got so many allegiances.
I know.
If you can pick. You say you're not a Blade, and partly to prove it, you were at the recent Sheffield United 1, Leeds United 3 game, sat in the director's box, I believe.
Loved
Tell
it.
me about, as a former Leeds player,
Yeah.
tell me what you did at one point.
Oh my God! Well, you know what I'm like, Alan. I get carried away with myself. I'm daft. I'm crackers. I just enjoy life, you know. And what happens is obviously Leeds have made it 1-1, and I jumped up and sat back down and realised where I was, and then they went 2 and 3, and I thought,
Mel, you know where you was.
I did know where I was actually, and I just jumped up and shook my hand and clapped my hand, and this guy said, "Sterland, sit down, you fat." And I went, "Okay." So I sat back down. But great result, great performance. You know, Sheffield United did well. You know, I'm sure Chris Wilder would be probably a bit upset regarding the game, but you know, I think me as a manager, when I was a manager, I would have said we don't go out and get beat. You know, and I think he possibly might have said that, or should have said that if he didn't. But listen, Leeds were far too good at the last 20 minutes.
You know, the thing I was thinking about that Leeds Sheffield United derby was that 10 minutes to go, it's 1-1, been a great game. You think that's a fair scoreline. And I don't know, Imre, back in your day, would both teams have been thinking, hey, we'll take this? That wasn't the way they played, was it?
No, exactly. I was at home watching it in the comfort of my home. I like to listen to the commentary on that. And I just thought at 1-1, back in our day, the experienced lads would have just said, right, just let's keep this tight, stop, sit here, midfield players sit, compact, and just turn the ball over in the corners and make sure you see out a 1-1 draw. But good luck to Leeds. I mean, they kept believing. The last 5 minutes, they scored their goals. And that should have never happened. It wouldn't have happened in our day. But again, Leeds, they kept going forward and scored 2 more terrific goals, really, and deserved it because they kept believing that they'll win this game, even though there was 5 minutes to go. And
it's a big prize as well, you know, from that championship into the Premiership, as you know, Alan. Yeah. Every point, and that's like Imre said, you know, if I'd have been a manager, I'd probably said we don't get beat tonight. Yeah. You know, and I'm sure Chris said that. I don't know about the Leeds manager because
Chris made a point to me of saying we were going for it as well.
Yeah,
full tilt.
We were.
You know.
I think that's what's the modern game has changed to now. They just go for 90 plus minutes now and thinking that we can win this. But you know, like I said, back in our day, we would just made sure we stayed compact and made sure we do not lose this game.
Is it a better game now for that change of attitude and approach?
Well, to be honest,
it's entertaining, it's exciting for the neutral.
But I don't think, me personally, I don't seem to enjoy the Premiership. I think with the VAR and everything stopping the game, it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. It's embarrassing. It does your head in. And as a punter, you just want to see the game. You want to see goals. You know, how can you be offside with a fingernail?
Or a kneecap the other day.
How many of your goals would have been chalked off?
All of it would have been chalked off.
How many would have been? I've got a count on your goals.
Oh, have you?
You're 179 in your career.
Okay.
You're agreeing with that?
I thought I hit roughly up to plus cup goals up to near enough 200 in my career.
Well, that is near enough.
Yeah, we'll settle for that. I'll be happy with it.
178 would have been.
You got 68 or
70.
They're all penalties.
70.
They're all penalties.
So if you would have been offside. Now, I shouldn't use the word tragic for something like this. We're being light-hearted about it, but it is for football, isn't it? That a prime skill, and Imre can talk about this, of timing a run.
Yeah. As a player, as a striker, I was quick and I scored goals, and I played on shoulders. Yeah. So, you know, obviously you've got to bend your run and try and get in there. So, I mean, half of my goals might have been chalked out. So that's the thing. I think you should give, you know, even if it's just an elbow or a fingernail or a kneecap, the striker the benefit of the doubt, because, you know, you score a goal, VAR, like Mel says, you're hanging around 5 minutes and you celebrate it, and then it dies down. Yeah. Fans are, you know, and it's just bad. It's not good.
That's why I like the Championship. No VAR.
I know.
Yes,
So
you're right, Mel.
You know, there's a goal, it's a goal.
It worries you that, I mean, Danny Rawle, Sheffield Wednesday manager, who we all immensely respect, just recently, a couple of decisions. Do you know, he kind of said that I'm thinking, changing my mind slightly, that we need VAR because the officials aren't picking up these things. I felt, you know,
I would like it.
Like to hear managers say that, albeit that he always expresses himself well.
Yeah, he's a great manager. He's done really well for Sheffield Wednesday. But regarding VAR, it just frustrates me so much. I can't stand it when and like Imre said, you know, you're waiting around 2, 3, 4 minutes. You can't even celebrate your goal.
No.
It's mad.
Can we not accept that, although referees could and should be better, that they are, like the players, are going to make mistakes? They are going to make mistakes.
100%, you know.
And
they go to Stocksley, don't they? Yeah. They make these decisions, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong.
They're wrong, yeah.
Because it's a matter of opinion.
It's all about human opinions again. Yeah. So
it's about opinions, but it's so frustrating for the players, for the fans.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we want to see football. We want to see goals.
We want to see flowing football as well, not stop-start football.
And it's also why fans of Sheffield United quite often say, and I'm sure Sheffield Wednesday fans would say in the same situation, yeah, we want to get promotion. We love a trophy, but we prefer it in the Championship. Yeah. I think Blake fans more than Owls fans, because the novelty's worn off when you've been relegated a couple of times. Yeah. Now then, loyalties. We know where yours lie, I think, Mel. I think we do, even though, as you say, you've played for 3 huge clubs in your career. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday, 78 to 89. By the way, when you left, I remember Ron Atkinson telling me that the deal had been agreed with Glasgow Rangers, but Ron had only just come into the club. And this is unusual for Ron, because he was spot on with names. He said, yeah, the lad Sterling, we've agreed a deal. Sterling, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So you were so well known and established, the manager.
Yeah. Sterling, yeah.
Sterling. But you were Sterling for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
Rangers briefly, and Leeds United. You both got Premier League title medals, you know, as a result of your alliance there. Anyway, how would you pick between Sheffield United, Everton, I'm running down the list now, Newcastle United, Sheffield Wednesday, West Bromwich Albion, Manchester City, Wednesday again, Leeds United, Rotherham United, Mansfield and Scunthorpe.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's obviously Mansfield that you support.
Well, no.
Who do you support?
Mine's the Owls. They actually had 2 stints there. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. But
you did. I
played
just mentioned twice.
About 4 years all in total, but the first time was 2 years, and that was very fruitful under Howard Wilson, who built a team there, a winning team.
Amazing.
And, you know, what people don't realise back then with his coaching ability is that they played 3 centre-halves, 2 wing-backs, with Mel Sterland, Nigel Worthington on the other side. So he was one of the first stroke manager coaches to do that. And he doesn't get enough credit for doing that.
No.
And then we won, obviously, promotion that season. You know, we had such a good team and we played a certain way. I call it winning football. We were fit, as you well know.
We were fit, all right. I had to set my training shoes in every 6 months for a service. We did that much running, Hallam. It was unbelievable. Oh.
I mean, we used to come in training on a Monday, and we used to do 10-mile run at Uden Valley. You know, they do not do that. I don't think they run more than 400 metres now, and that's in pre-season. Yeah. So that's how much it's changed. We played on worse pitches, didn't we?
Oh, my God.
In the winter, it was mud. You know, goal
unbelievable.
Right through the middle. We had to play out the wide areas because there was a little bit of grass. And Brian Marwood would run down the wing, and me and Lee Chapman up front. So we had a really good team. So when we got promotion after 14 years, which was unbelievable, I think Howard brought in Lee Chapman, a couple of good signings to make the team better. And that season, we just beat everybody, you know, inside. I think we ended up 5th in the top division and should have played in Europe.
Yeah. I think with Howard, you knew what you got from Howard. You know, he was straight, he was honest, disciplined. And you've met him a few times, Ali, you know what it's like. You can ask him a question and it takes him 4 hours to answer it. He's unbelievable. He's like a lawyer. Yeah. But, you know, what a guy. And he fetched the players in who he could trust, who he liked, and got rid of the players who he didn't like. Did he get rid of you?
I've got to tell you the story though.
Well,
when I came back the second time,
Yes.
he rings me up and said, Imre, I want to bring you back. I couldn't agree terms at Man City at the time, so it was in those days it was month to month you used to sign. We only signed once. And I said, well, what are these rumours, Howard, that you're leaving, you're going to Leeds United? He went, nah, they're just rumours, Imre. So sign. Week later, he disappeared to Leeds United. The manager there. I thought, great.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, he came back for me for the third time.
Yes, to go to Leeds.
Yeah.
I think the thing that people miss about that, and the way that you played and the way Wilco set you up to play was criticised in part as being long ball and everything, but it was exciting. That was the thing. If it's played right, it was going from there to there very, very quickly.
Exactly.
You weren't passing it across the back or all this.
How frustrating that is. Oh my God. In the Premiership, well, not just in the Premiership, now the Championship, goalkeeper passes it out and he goes pass. And you're thinking, get the bloody thing forward.
Exactly.
Get it forward. We used to do that regularly. And like Imre said, Howard fetched in with two wing backs, me and Worthington, and we used to get the ball. In fact, I made Lee Chapman a millionaire. All them goals and crosses I made him. And I'm still waiting.
A millionaire.
Not far off. Well, you're not far off anyway. But he still owes me a pint, Chapman, but I'm still waiting for it, Alan.
All these years later.
All these years.
Only one pint.
I think he should be a brewery, not you.
It's funny because only a few days ago I was talking to Howard Wilkinson about the system they play now, because goalkeepers now are like a centre half, aren't they?
Well,
so they get the ball. Well, they can all play.
You've got to.
It's obviously Pep Guardiola, his methods, and everyone's followed that suit. But I said, Howard, would you have played that? When you're probably 1-0, 2-0 down, would you play that way, where the two centre halves drop in the 6-yard box, keeper gives
Raymondo?
He went, no. If you can do that with international players, it costs 50, 100 million, but when you go down the leagues, you can't.
But they try to.
They still try. That's what I can't
understand. You see some real joke goals down there, don't you?
You do.
It's quite amazing how the difference. So we've established that you're an amateur, really.
Oh, 100%.
Now, does it ever get awkward for the pair of you, this intense rivalry that exists between Elland Road and Hillsborough, and the fact that you're regarded as Leeds United heroes as well? Do you ever
to be honest, Alan,
difficult to balance?
No, not really, because I'm blue and white. When I go up to Leeds and have a chat to them at Leeds, they know I'm Sheffield Wednesday. I make that clear. I'm Wednesday. I captain Sheffield Wednesday. I signed straight from school. So but Leeds United, I was lucky enough to win things up there. The second division, first division, which is now the Premiership. So I was really lucky. And like I said, we had a good manager. It was in Howard. Great manager. I think the players up there used to call him my dad. Because they call him, how's your dad going on?
Yeah.
They all wind me up, I said, he's fine. I said, they only call him dad because he didn't pick you a lot, because you weren't good enough. But he's just a great football club, and I've been lucky enough.
Everyone at Elland Road, they understand, don't they?
Yeah.
We live in Sheffield, and we're big Sheffield Wednesday fans, so they're fine up there, but we do have a little bit of fun up there as well.
It's
well.
Great, it's great.
We're there on Saturday, playing West Brom at home, so that'll be a good game.
As we sit here on a Wednesday afternoon at the end of February, whenever you watch this, by the way, you'll know the result of the game that they're talking about. Probably.
Okay,
but we'd love to know what's going to happen. I'm not going to ask you any predictions because, as I say, people watch this at different times. Glasgow Rangers, of course, in between. That must have been an experience. What was it? What was the derby like? An Old Firm derby like?
Well, I played in the cup final there, and frightening, absolutely frightening. And I don't get scared of anything, but I was scared in the cup final with both the fans. You say your Man United, Man City, Everton, Liverpool, Wednesday United derbies.
I played in those, Mel, believe it or not. I played in 5 derbies.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him about one in particular in a minute.
But the Celtic and Rangers, it's just amazing.
The most hostile.
Absolutely. But they go out on a night, the fans, and they have a drink, and then they go to a match and kick hell out on each other.
Yeah.
It's mental.
And then do they go out again and have a drink?
They go out and have a drink. They go to hospital and probably see each other. But he's had
the Sheffield one is taken in
absolutely
hostility terms.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. But I was lucky enough to go up there. Obviously, Manico Graham Souness, who I didn't get on with. He let me down, really. He told me a few lies. But that's football. You have to just bite your tongue.
What did he tell you?
Well, he said that I wasn't for sale. And within 5 minutes, 10 minutes after, he told me to go and head to buy a house, got my kids in school, and then he decided to sell me. I had a phone call from Ron Atkinson, another guy who I'm not really happy about. He's another one, but he asked me to come back to Sheffield Wednesday, offered me less money. Because I didn't do that, he won't let me have a testimonial game at Hillsborough. Right. Which I was very, very disappointed in that because
I didn't realise you've not had a testimonial.
I had a testimonial, but I had to have it at Leeds because Ron Atkinson turned around and said, "You're not having it." At
testimonials have gone out of football, haven't they?
That's right. Imre will tell you.
Kevin Pressman also.
I don't think Kevin had one.
Get one.
Laurie Madden got one. Nigel Worthington got one. I should have had one, but obviously Ron said I couldn't have it at Wednesday, which disappointed me. I cost them nothing. Went through the ranks. I think they got 850 grand for me. I think it was, and they couldn't be loyal to me and give me a testimonial at Sheffield Wednesday. But that's water under the bridge now. It's just frustrating. But as for Ron Atkinson and Souness, I'm not really bothered about them.
Well, everybody's got different perceptions of people. That there are many other players that would hail both of those for the way that they were dealt with. So you can't please everybody all of the time, can you?
Well, Mel showed a lot of loyalty to Sheffield Wednesday, that's where you think they should show it a lot back. So unfortunately, with the new manager coming in, he had other ideas.
Let me ask you about derbies, particularly on Merseyside. So you've been at Sheffield United, you made an impact, a goal every other game, I think, very early.
Something like that, I scored quite a few goals in about 12 games. I was sub 4 times, and then a great big offer came along from Everton Football Club, which Sheffield United took. It was a little bit early in my career to make that move because it was a huge club. But anyway, my first derby game, so we're at Goodison Park, Everton versus Liverpool. A young Martin Hodge was in goal, young Steve McMahon, but they had a great team. I don't think Everton have beaten Liverpool for about 15 years in a derby. They had Souness, Rush, Dalglish, Hansen, all the greats there, and they were winning things right through the 70s. Anyway, we're at home. There's 54,000 people there. There wasn't seating areas. They were all stood up, and the atmosphere was crazy. And I managed to score a goal, the winning goal, bouncing, scored the goal, and I lost it, ran behind the goal, ran up to the fans, but it was the Liverpool fans. And then somebody decided to throw a meat and potato pie, hit me straight in the middle of my face. And Alan, I can still taste it today, So never forget that. And
so the pie was bang on target. Meat and potato.
Block in the middle of my face.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If it had been thrown at you, you'd have picked it up.
I think I would have asked for some brown sauce.
You would have wasted it, would you?
Don't waste food. Don't waste food.
Going back to that derby, the tackles, it was like GBH. It was like a war. You can get away with the first tackle in those days, but that happened for 90 minutes. Tackles were
proper football
around the neck. It was proper football. If you ever see those back, revisited on TV.
You do see some. I love it. Frightening to look at.
Amazing. I'm watching it on Saturday actually because Stevie Hodge went through for Forest against Aston Villa, and Spink saved it. So I texted him. I said, "You should have loved him. You should have chipped him, kid." And he said, "I'm just watching the same program." But it's great. Yeah, but like you said, the pitches, what they play on that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The carpets.
And the strange thing is, you were playing on a bog often, weren't you?
Yeah.
And they're playing on a carpet now. And yet there are more injuries and injury absences now than there have ever been. Can you explain?
My personally thinking of that is that everything's light. The boots are lighter, the kits are lighter, everything's very sort of... I don't think you get much protection. And that's where I don't know whether it catches their studs in these pitches. I don't know what the grass are. Are they 4Gs, half and half now? I don't know. But they're immaculate pitches, and ACL, a lot of players, a lot of the women players have been getting a lot of ACLs as well. So I just don't really know. I just think maybe these, the kits now are all too lightweight.
But you probably think, as Alan just said, the pitches that we played on, they were a mess.
Yeah.
And you'd have expected more injuries playing on them pitches than what they do on these pitches now.
Is it something to do with the demands or the all-action demands on every player, the twisting? I mean, for instance, you could have perhaps smoked a fag on the halfway line on occasions. You weren't expected.
Well, you're wrong there, Alan, because my job was, we didn't leave one up front all the time. We did on certain games. I had to come back and mark on the 18-yard box. Right. And I remember, just going back, my first goal in the top division when we got promotion against Notts Forest.
You ran the length of the field.
Yeah. It was true. Steve Hodge for Forest.
Yes.
Cross, we're defending it. I'm on the edge of the box. I think Peter Shirtcliffe headed the ball up. I picked it up on the edge of the box.
18-yard box.
To defend. And I started running with the ball. I was at the halfway line. Everybody was backing off me. Went past 2 or 3 players. Found myself on the edge of the 18-yard box. Just hit one. Flew into the top corner. I mean, it was unbelievable. Seeing the cop without the roof at the time. It was just crazy. Can you remember that?
I can remember scoring a penalty, actually. I got the first. We'd got a penalty and I took it and scored it. And then I think I had to take it again because Gary Shelton ran into the area. So I had to take the penalty again and scored it. Not a problem. And then Imre Varadi, Imre Banana, he come down and put one in the net. And then John Pearson scored with his kneecap. Shut his eyes and he just and went in. So John were happy, I was happy, and Imre were happy. Yeah,
we'll come to Imre Banana in a minute when we close the show, because the Imre Banana is coming back. He's making a comeback. But Imre was the kind of player you could guarantee to get shots off. Every game he'd have a number of shots. Look at him. He knows what's coming.
I know what's coming here. This is wrong, Alan.
All right. Okay. So we had a competition sweepstake in the press box. I think Peter Cooper, the late lamented great character, organised it. So we had on pieces of paper the names of various advertising boards, and we had a draw, and I happened to draw Finland's, I think. Which board is Imre Varadi going to hit tonight?
But what you didn't realise, I was getting paid from these advertisers.
I had to hit the board. So sure enough, you hit the board that I got.
No.
So I went away with 20 or 30 quid extra.
You shouldn't be gambling. Big T, you shouldn't be gambling.
But and you were a bit offended, I think, the first time you heard about it. But it was only because,
no, he never got offended.
It was only because you were guaranteed. If you don't shoot, you don't score.
Absolutely,
philosophy. Yeah,
and you'd be guaranteed.
Thank you, Alan, for that.
That's my way of smoothing it over.
You always told me that in the press room, didn't you? That story. So fair enough. You've got to take it on the chin. You're young.
Okay, so since playing, you've been what's the most sort of despised area of football? Well, football referees probably. And then
one worse than that.
There's used car salesmen, and then there's agents.
That's it. Well,
and you've been an agent for.
I have. Last 25 years, longer than I've been a professional footballer. So 25 years I've been doing it. I worked for a large agency in London for about 16 years. That was really good. Enjoyed that. We had many of international players. They did the Gareth Bale deal, the record transfer, 85 million to Real Madrid back in 2014. So we had some very high-end footballers to look after, which was great. So I learned the business. The last 5-6 years I've been on my own now, and I'm still involved.
Good. Enjoy it.
Love it. Absolutely
you
love it.
get a bonus of satisfaction when you sign
because
a young player maybe that goes on to achieve.
That's it. You see them, at 16, you get them on board and you advise them and guide them, and you see them, producing the goods on the football pitch, and and then hopefully they go to the very top. And I've seen that with many of players every time I watch the TV box now. And
is there anybody in particular that you're particularly proud of that you?
yeah, there's one or two. I don't want to mention names. There's a couple at Leeds United. You know, we had players at every football club, to be honest, even at the lower end, League Two.
And Mel, you're still involved because I know that. Well, in fact, I read your column in the Sheffield Wednesday programme.
Yeah, I do a little bit. I do
Become
a
a journalist.
Oh no, it's too
That's
difficult.
another despised profession.
You've got to be clever. You've got to be clever to be one of them. But yeah, I enjoy doing it. You know, I have a phone call, conversation, and yeah, it's good. But obviously, my health reasons, it stops me from doing a lot of other things what I'd love to do, but I can't do. But you know, that's life. You just have to get on with it.
But you're in good form.
Yeah, I'm in good form. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, I'm in good form. I've got a good pal outside of me.
Yeah, I know.
Legend. That's what he is. He's a legend.
Legend.
Yeah, I mean, you're always, both of you are prepared to take the mickey out of yourselves,
Oh, it's important.
which is, from a health point of view, you can't take yourself too
That's
seriously.
what we miss.
No. Yeah.
In the dressing room, the banter in the dressing room, that is the one thing. A lot of fans say, do you miss playing? Well, I had my career, you know, it's the next generation now, but what we do miss is the banter. So when we do go in the lounges at, you know, Leeds or whoever, I go to Newcastle quite a lot up there as well, and it's the banter. You know?
Oh, the banter's the best in the world. I don't miss football as much as I miss one day a month, payday, obviously. But you know, you've just got to enjoy life. Life's too short, Al. You know, and like Imre just said, the banter with the lads in the changing room, it's absolutely amazing, and it's great. And even now, we still do it.
And that's what you two do when you meet up. It becomes like a mini dressing room. Hopefully, we've recreated a bit of that here.
Well, we're actually going out for a meal, aren't we? Soon with
yes, we are.
Should we mention?
Yeah, we're going out. We're going out with Chris Kamara, Gordon Strachan, Imre Banana, Mel Sterland, and Howard Wilkinson.
And Howard, yeah.
So we're going out. I'm looking forward to it with the wives and everything.
Yeah, Howard's got a very dry sense of humour. I've experienced it. I mean, I have full respect for Howard as a manager from this side of the fence, as a journalist.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't get enough credit, does he? What he's done, what he's achieved.
Absolute respect for it. But yeah, sometimes you weren't quite sure how to take.
I remember, Alan, when I was signing, when I was leaving Glasgow Rangers, and I was going down to Trevor Francis at QPR. So I told, and my phone rang, and I thought, oh, his boss. So I said, hi, boss. He said, Melvin, I know where you're going. I went, oh, wow, do you? He said, yes, I do. You're going to QPR. Go down to Trevor and have a chat with him. And by the way, Melvin, London is far too fast for you. And put the phone down.
I've got a good story as well.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He called you Raymond.
Raymondo.
Again, I'm in the car going to Celtic to sign for Celtic for Billy McNeil.
Right.
And I'm in the car driving up to Scotland, and before I got to Meadow Hall, I get a phone call off the gaffer, Howard Wilson. He said, Raymondo, he said, I want you to come to Leeds. I said, gaffer, I promised Celtic, I'm on the way up. He said, no, you're not. I said, how much? And he told me the contract, and that's how you did the contract, verbally on the phone. Turn right.
How much did you get?
Sign for Leeds.
Yeah.
Get more than me.
It was good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And it was a lot less of a commute.
Yeah.
As well,
Oh, yeah.
to do that.
And then I had to ring Billy McNeil, and he wasn't happy with
wow,
I totally understand. So I agreed to go up there and sign.
That's terrible, that is.
It's shocking, but there you go. But it was Howard, wasn't it? And the Lowell and the Paul.
The way managers acted then and were able to act, and the way they lever deals doesn't happen now.
No.
You know, does it?
No,
You
not
know,
at all.
at all.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of contracts over hundreds and hundreds over the years.
Did managers get involved in that then, Razor, or not?
No, not really now. You either do it with the CEO or even the chairman sometimes. So, but negotiation takes weeks and weeks and weeks. People think you just, you just send an email and then it's done. So it's a lot of backwards and forwards and negotiating and constructing a contract, and hopefully everybody's happy at the end of it.
Used to be really cloak and dagger. I remember with Gordon Strachan, I think Ron Atkinson was very confident, having managed Strack at Manchester
That's right.
United, that once you got him in the office at Hillsborough, that was it.
Yeah.
And Howard Wilkinson stepped in and what a signing for
Well, that was
Leeds.
Brilliant.
I mean,
Incredible
Skip,
signing.
we call him Skip. I mean, he was like the Pied Piper that came in.
Amazing.
He was the jigsaw that glued everything together, and the way he played his football,
Amazing.
and we had some good players up there. You know, there was Gary Speedy, David Batty coming through. There was Gary McAllister that came in there. There was formidable midfielder at Leeds United. Then Chris White and Chris Fairclough at the back,
Yep.
Lukage in
Terrigo.
goal, and there was Chappie up front, and I think Howard had about 8 strikers to choose from.
Varadi.
So, yeah, there was me, but there was
Oh, you.
Bobby Davison. There was
You didn't get in as much then?
no,
did you?
no, I didn't. I mean, I travelled with. I think I played in that championship season. I think I played about 3 or 4 games, and 2 of those were in midfield. So when Gordon Strachan was injured, actually,
What shoes to fill.
well, yeah, I mean, you couldn't fill those shoes, but you know, it was an honour to play at Leeds at the time, and everything was rolling. But we travelled everywhere. You know, I travelled everywhere with them, and the feeling of going into a game, you knew we'd win that game.
Even at Sheffield Wednesday, when Howard was manager there, we knew we were going to win games there.
Yeah.
You could see the fear. Because Hillsborough were like, nobody wanted to come and play at Hillsborough, especially where we played, 100 mile an hour. As you said earlier on, Alan, everybody were getting, Sheffield Wednesday, all they do is kick the ball forward, get it in the box, that's it.
Team
to win football games.
Even the
lot
big
more
teams,
serious.
even the Man United and the Liverpools, and you know, we turned them over at Hillsborough.
Absolutely.
So
Fantastic. Well, I've got to mention, the contract says I've got to mention Imre Banana and the comeback of the inflatables. Tell us just briefly about the history of this, because you were at Manchester City.
I was at Man City, late 80s, and played up front with Paul Stewart. And we had a decent side there, very good side there. And one evening at the night game, jogging out, someone brought an inflatable banana. And then next minute, they started calling me Imre Banana. Next game, there was 10s, there were 100s, and then it just went crazy. And, you know, there was inflatable bananas at West Ham. You know, they had inflatable hammers there. Grimsby, Fish. It just swept the country. It made the 6 o'clock news. It just absolutely swept the country. It was absolutely the fun factor in the game.
But then, thankfully, we got rid of all the inflatables.
No, they are still going. I've done my research, so I've set up a company, and now we're going to launch Imre Banana. So if anybody interested, please log on to our website. We've got a fantastic website, imrebanana.com, and follow the links on that. But
You think they'll come back as big a craze as before?
The inflatable business is a multi-million-pound business. So if I can just get a little gap in that market, I'll be happy.
Well, you're the right man to do that as the originator. You should have copyright, really.
I have got copyright.
You have got copyright.
I've got copyright, everything. Yeah.
Quite clever. It's quite clever.
It's not just bananas.
I don't know if I'm clever.
It could be, as you say, it's not just bananas. It could be a blade, inflatable.
Well, it
blade,
could be anything.
an
It could be anything.
inflatable owl.
Yeah. So I'll be
Peacock,
launching
is
it
it,
down
Lee?
at Sheffield Wednesday. So down at the Superstore there, Mega Store.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited about it.
Well, wish you luck. He's a businessman, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is a businessman.
Yes.
Tycoon.
Yeah,
Tycoon. If there's a football club that needs buying, if it's not him, he'll have connections to somebody who does it.
Aye, he's been involved
He
in
would,
that as
wouldn't
well.
he?
Alan has been involved in that as well.
I've been involved in. I'm
Yes.
actually involved in selling 5 football clubs as we speak. Yeah.
Anybody we know about?
There's one. All I'll say is, because there's NDAs signed, there's 1 in the UK and 5 in Europe.
Okay.
Outside of UK.
Can you think of one that really needs a buyer, particularly?
Well,
I
believe
can't.
it or
I
not,
can't.
I think today's clubs, Alan Chairman,
Yeah.
they're like selling houses now, believe it or not. I know they're larger figures and whatnot, but you know, it's an industry where they're all selling football clubs.
Yeah. Well, we could have, I don't know how long we've done. We've done the best part of an hour, I would say. And I think we could have done 2 or 3 more hours. Fantastic. Thank you again to Hallam FC, for allowing us to come down here. It's a splendid social club at Sandygate, the oldest football ground in the world. And Hallam are going great guns under Craig Denson. Beautifully managed outfit they are. Always make people friendly, hence the crowds have swollen in some cases to over 1,000. And it really is a great day or evening when you come and watch Hallam FC play. It always entertainment guaranteed. And thanks to LensGo Media for agreeing to put up and suffer these windbags, including me.
There you go.
But it's been fantastic. Imre, Mel, thank you so much.
Alan.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoy it. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right.